Time out. It's Kelcito, the spirit coach, getting your ass shaped before for the age of Aquarius yet again. And goddamn it, what I'm going to tell you guys today is to affirm your goddamn spiritual location. Okay, it's important. Affirm your spiritual location. Okay, now you got a physical location, and your physical location will represent the information and the light and ideas when you're in that physical location, aka you in your goddamn room, or you in your motherfucking house, or you in whatever, you know what I'm saying, you within that state physically and things of that nature. So based upon natural selection, you resonated and created light or information there that became dense enough to where you can review and access what you just and create another awareness above, you know, the body or the vessel that you're inhabiting to become aware of what you're actually doing. And so this is how we get titles and names and everything having a name and shit like that, because, you know, that would be your interpretation of that physical location. But you also have a spiritual location as well. And your spiritual location, it deals with your imagination. And your imagination can sometimes be far out, because that's what we kind of use to create this realm. This came from all of us creating this together. So this came from us. But for us to realize it came from us, we had to realize we was doing something. So, but we know the observer of what we observing was doing, was creating what we're observing now, because we can still observe it, but we can still not call ourselves it, which would be a form of blasphemy. And so when you allow yourself enlightenment and you allow yourself to emotionally transmute these things that may be on the internal level, you can use this spiritual location as a representation of where you're coming from. Now, everybody got their own chart and access to where they come from as a spirit. And they like to shine that or whatever, or put that. And some of you guys don't. Some of you guys' imaginations is way too far out. You know, some of you guys' imaginations ain't even developed yet. You know, in a sense of you still trying to get it together. You're still trying to figure it out. But for the most part, you got to have both. You got to have the physical location and you got to have the spiritual location, because for the most part, you're trying to experience something, you know, that's spiritual within the physical senses and things of that nature. And this is when we get into magic, alchemy, and transmuting work, and using fire, water, air, and earth. Fire would be expression. Water would be emotional connection. Air would be intellect, logic, communication. And earth would be practicalization, routine, and pattern. So, therefore, affirm your spiritual location, because to know your spiritual location, you know what I'm saying, is to know where you're at in the esoteric realm. So, a lot of the time we affirm our physical location as our spiritual location. And when we affirm our physical location as our spiritual location, this will be like you getting washed up within the heavy waters of whatever your environment is. Oh, I'm going through this. Oh, this is me. 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 Or I'm responsible. Obviously, you're responsible for a location. But another responsibility that you have that you must realize is that you need at times to affirm your spiritual location and shit like that. And because that is always going to create another awareness within space, let's say, because spirits is within space, creating and things of that nature. That's why if you imagine a green, plain field with trees and a wind blowing and shit like that. You're astral traveling in that location, picking up information, flying a kite with your son, you know what I'm saying? Or having a nice sunny day. That is astral traveling. So that would be a representation of your spiritual location. Now, to pick up on your spiritual location, sometimes you have to externalize. So you have to wing it. You have to go with it. You have to go with how you feel. You know what I'm saying? You would have to use things like expression and things that that can come out to represent where you are. You're not going to find it looking within if you don't know where you are. You be that. Now, far as your physical location, you know what I'm saying, you use the information to understand where you are. So it's our left brain and our right brains getting into that information. But like I said, now when you have your physical location on hand and you have your spiritual location on hand, the friction between the two start to create a map almost, in a sense, or a highway or a fusion and friction. You know what I'm saying? A fusion and friction, let's just call it that. And that creates ideas on how to bring these two together. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're always in like some trinity, physical, physical, non-physical, and then just the space that we were in to create and observe both of these things. And we can't get past the observer and things of that nature. All right. So quick video about you affirming your spiritual location. You need to affirm your spiritual location because that will be like you creating a light or flagging, God, let's say, even though God ain't looking down on you, you know what I'm saying? God is within you. But for the most part, you will be affirming, the spiritual powers that God gave you and things of that nature. And now God can give you and the ancestors or predecessors that resonate with that frequency now can give you ideas on how to better carry out that spiritual location within the physical realm. All right? And I'm Kel Cito, the spirit coach. Make sure you join Cito's Clubhouse, the membership, citoworld.com/membership for daily tips, astrology, and more. Get your ass in the game.